All right, good afternoon, everybody. Let's go ahead and get started with our meeting. I want to welcome everyone to the winter edition of our Water Quality Advisory Work Group meeting. And my name is Greg Easley. I work here at the TCQ in the Water Quality Division in the Water Quality Assessment section, and I'll be moderating today's meeting. And we'll start off with introductions of everyone here in the room. Let's start over here on this end of the table, and we'll go around and into the audience there. So,
good afternoon. My name is Travis Tim, and I'm with the Customer Information and Assistance Team in the Water Quality Division.
I'm Brian Saran. I'm the Biosolids Work Leader for the Water Quality Division.
Laurie Fleet, Wastewater Permitting.
C.W. Schneider, Land Application Team, Water Quality Division.
Rebecca Villalba, Team Leader for the Stormwater Team in the Water Quality Division.
Lindsay Garza, Stormwater Team, Water Quality Division.
Erica Crespo, Pretreatment Team Leader in the Water Quality Division.
Peter Schaefer, Standards Implementation Team, Water Quality Division.
I'm Kyle Wright, USDA NRCS Water Quality Specialist for Texas.
Janet Sams, Perkins Engineering Consultants.
Nathan Vassar with Lloyd Gosselink.
Jamie Canings with Burns McDonnell.
Trace Canings Environmental.
And Ruth Strom, Program Support, TCEQ.
Zachary King, TCQ Program Support.
Juan Salgado, San Antonio Water System.
James McGowan, San Antonio Water System.
Andrew Labai, Friesen Nichols here in Austin.
Dave Buzan, Friesen Nichols in Austin.
Ryan Dorth, Corks Utilities, Texas.
Gloria Broussard, Corks Utilities, Texas.
Maria Benitez, Pretreatment Team, Water Quality Division, TCEQ.
Helen Gilbert, Gilbert Wilburn.
Hector Omnis, Fern Bluff Municipal Utility District, Round Rock.
all right, thank you, everyone. And also want to give a welcome out to those who are participating via our webcast, and just want to remind those out there that if you wouldn't mind shooting an email to our outreach email address, it's at the bottom of the agenda, and just let us know that you're out there. We can document your participation in the meeting, and also if you have any questions throughout the meeting, you can send those in by the same email address. So thank you for that. And let's go ahead and get started with the agenda. We're going to start out with some general permit updates covering anywhere from Harris County GP to the CAFO and some stormwater permit renewals. So I'll have Lori Fleet kick us off.
All right, Harris County General Permit Renewal. That's permit number TXG 530000. It authorizes the discharge of wastewater from on-site treatment systems connected to single-family residences in Harris County. The current permit expires January 30th of this year. The draft permit was published for public comment, and the comment period ended in October. And the commission is expected to take action on the proposed permit tomorrow in this very room. So that's my update on that one. Any questions?
C.W. Schneider. We're proposing to renew the Concentrated Animal Feeding Operation General Permit TXG 920000. The CAFO General Permit allows for discharge of waste under chronic or catastrophic conditions, and it must be reissued every 5 years. The current permit is set to expire on July 20th, 2019. The draft general permit was submitted to EPA for review on October 16th, 2018. EPA issued a no objection letter on December 6, 2018. We anticipate that public notice will be published in the Texas Register and newspapers on February 22nd. And at the conclusion of the 30-day comment period, a public meeting will be held at TCU headquarters, and we anticipate that being the last week of March. Following the 30-day comment period and public meeting, TCEQ will respond to comments received and prepare the documents for commission approval. At this time, we anticipate issuance of the general permit by June 26, 2019, which will leave us about 3 weeks ahead of the scheduled expiration date of July 20th, 2019.
Thanks, CW. Anyone have any questions about the CAFO GP renewal? All right, we'll move on to the next one.
Hi, everyone. Just giving a quick update on the multi-sector general permit. We just wanted to let everybody know that, well, most of you know already that as of September 1st of last year, we did implement the electronic reporting rule for the multi-sector general permit, and wanted to give an update that the Office of Enforcement, Compliance and Enforcement had been working on a web page for net DMR submittals. And that web page is complete now, so it's got some helpful information on how to submit your discharge monitoring forms, or also how to create an account. I know some people from the public had been waiting on this, so I just wanted to let everybody know that it's pretty simple to find this web page. If you go to our TCEQ homepage, you can just type in NetDMR in the search engine, and it should be the first link that pops up. But if not, I do have the link right here that I can read off fairly quickly. It's www.tceq.texas spelled out .gov as in government /permitting/netDMR. So, like I said, it's pretty easy to find on our TCEQ homepage, but just wanted to let everybody know that this page is up and running, and everyone we've referred it to lately has found it really helpful. So I hope it helps you as well. It also has videos that are very helpful for our team and for the public. So I urge you to take a look. Any questions? Okay, so another quick update from Stormwater here is the John Graves General Permit Renewal. This is TXG 500,000, and this is for our general permit that regulates quarries within or greater than a mile from the John Graves Scenic Riverway. Just wanted to let everyone know that this permit expires April 7th of this year. We had a public comment period which ended August 1st of last year, and we are scheduled to go to the Commissioner's agenda March 27th of this year. So we are on schedule, and the John Graves has been running pretty smoothly. Any questions on John Graves? Okay, thank you all very much.
Okay, hello. Continuing on with stormwater updates. So the next update is regarding the Phase 2 MS4 general permit. That is the permit TXR 040,000. This regulates the stormwater discharges from municipal separate storm sewer systems located in urbanized areas based on the 2000 and 2010 census. So this permit expired already last month on December 13th of 2018, so therefore currently it is administratively continued. The TCEQ, just to bring you up to date, we had a public meeting on September 24th, and we also had a public meeting. We had a public meeting that day, and that day also is when the comment period ended, the 30-day comment period. We received a combined 33 comments that we have addressed, and we prepared a response to comments. So right now we are scheduled to come here tomorrow morning to Commissioner's agenda. This is January 16, to present the permit to the Commissioners to hopefully get it adopted shortly thereafter. And so just know that as soon as the permit gets renewed, existing permittees that have authorizations under the general permit will have 180 days from the effective date of the permit to submit a new notice of intent, which is the application, with an updated stormwater management program that addresses all the new elements from the renewed general permit. Or if an entity qualifies for a waiver, then they can submit the waiver form. The updated forms and information will be on TCEQ's website. As soon as we have the permit issued, all the forms and everything will be updated. We are scheduled to send postcards to everybody that has an existing authorization or a pending authorization. So last time we sent letters to everybody. This time we're going to do a postcard. The postcard on the label would have the authorization number that postcard is for. And it's going to have the link for the MS4 to go find all the forms and information you need. A new thing to make sure everybody's aware of is that the application fee has increased to $400 from $100. So please be aware that, if you don't pay the $400, then your application will be returned. And just, because we've gotten some questions, please note that the submittal of the annual reports for the existing MS4s is not affected by this new general permit. The deadlines will remain the same as whatever you have the fiscal year or calendar year. That deadline still stays the same. So right now we're looking at hopefully the 6-month renewal deadline be sometime mid to late July of this year. Any questions on the MS4 general permit? Okay, so thank you. So Lindsay reminded me that we had a question earlier today from Mr. Ted Hamburger with DART in Dallas. So he wants to know to make sure that we provide instructions on the annual report on TCQ's website. We will have that. Also, he wants to ask how they need to handle the transition from the old permit to the new permit regarding the MS4 annual report requirements. So basically, as I said, the deadlines will not change. So the annual report for the fiscal year permittees, so those permittees that have a fiscal year reporting period stays the same. So that month and a half, I guess, maybe almost 2 months under this interim period that we have, you can report that in your first annual report. And that way your annual report will be, instead of 12 months, it'll be 14 months. So that is going to be similar to what we did during the last permit cycle. So that will not change drastically this time. Any questions? Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Rebecca. We'll shift now to some rule updates, I should say. We're going to hear from Brian, Lori, and Rebecca, but Brian will start us off.
Good afternoon. To give you an update on the agency-initiated rulemaking for Chapter 312, which would clarify the intent of existing requirements, remove inconsistencies, and improve readability of the sludge rules. Currently, we're working on making edits and incorporating language based on comments made by the rule team, which mainly consisted of solid waste, registration and reporting, and small business and environmental assistance. Once these rule edits are complete, which would take about hopefully a week or so, the proposed rule will follow the usual procedural steps, which would include preparing and incorporating our physical note, and then preparing a proposal memo and agenda item request. The proposed rule will then be given for final sign-off, and the proposed rule would then go to agenda, which we would hope to occur around late spring. All of our updates on this will be posted on the Biosolids website. Any questions?
There's a microphone coming.
Yes.
Yeah, well, actually, we need folks
we
on
need
our
the
webcast to be able to
microphone for
hear
that.
as well, so thanks for waiting.
Have you or your team reviewed any draft legislation that might address some of the issues that you're taking up in the rulemaking so far?
Not yet.
Have you heard of any bills?
I haven't heard of any bills. We've had questions about particular sites in the state, but that's it. Just inquiries from downtown, but nothing yet.
Okay, thanks.
We had a question come in from a Veronica Godley for Lindsay and Rebecca. She wants to know what the status of the TPDES General Permit TXR 05 issued August 14th, 2011, what the status is.
The status of the multi-sector general permit?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, so that permit right now is issued and effective, and we are scheduled to start the renewal process for that permit mid this year, possibly around August, September, we will start that permitting process. And as always, we will start with a stakeholder meeting to receive input of what worked, what didn't work, what changes we need. So it is scheduled to start the renewal process at that time because the permit expires in 2021.
Thanks.
Any other questions at this point? Okay, Rebecca, you can keep going with the next, or I'm sorry, I skipped Lori, sorry.
That's
Too
okay.
fast.
My update is on the revisions to Chapter 342, which are related to aggregate production operations. That chapter is being amended to implement House Bill 2582 from the last legislative session. That bill added a new exemption to Chapter 28 of the Water Code, and the exemption applies to a site at which specialty or terrazzo-type stone is removed or extracted from the earth. The material is produced for commercial sale and used exclusively for decorative or artistic uses, and the horizon that is exposed for current production does not exceed 5 acres. So those are the criteria for the exemption. We drafted the rule, and it went before the commissioners and got approval to publish. So the rule was published in the Texas Register on December 28th for public comment, and a public hearing is scheduled in this very room here at the TCQ Agenda Room at 10 o'clock on January 22nd. And then we will, like the normal rulemaking process, we'll evaluate any comments received, respond to those comments, and then we'll come back before the commission for adoption of that rule. Any questions?
Okay, so I'll move on to the next update. This is regarding the Federal Clean Water Act Analytical Methods Update Rule, known as the 2017 MUR. So since the last time we met and we briefed you, I just want to recap that this rule is implementing a federal rule that made changes to the analytical methods that are in 40 CFR Part 136. So on September 27th, the Water Quality Division sent a memo to the NELAC accreditation group here at TCQ requesting that they provide accreditation or offer accreditation for method 608.3, Table 1, method 624.1, Table 1, and method 625.1, Tables 1 and 2. So this memo then set a deadline of August 28th of this year, 2019, so that any data submitted based on the MUR of 2012 will not be accepted beyond that date. So after September 28th of 2019, we cannot receive as an agency any data using non-accredited 2017 MUR methods. So the other thing of interest is also that we have scheduled, finally, our external stakeholder meeting. So our stakeholder meeting is scheduled for September 30th of this year. It'll be here in the agenda room. So all are welcome. At that point, we will provide our plan of action to implement this via, the permitting, our implementation procedures, and everything else to provide the opportunity for you to give us any input, any feedback, suggestions, so that we can move forward with our implementation plan to then present it to EPA. So for the meantime, we're preparing that so that we can present that to you on April 30th.
Rebecca, I've got a question. The date of the work group meeting, is that?
April 30th.
Okay. I'm showing here, down here, April 19th. Is that incorrect on the,
What did I put?
on the agenda?
Stakeholder meeting. Okay, I will have to check, because I thought it was April 30th, but
Okay.
when we put the minutes of this on the website, we'll clarify.
Okay,
And I'll have
yeah, we'll
Nancy
get that.
send.
that correct date out to y'all, just to make sure there's no confusion. So any other questions for Rebecca? All right. Moving to the next topic, I've got a couple program updates, and we'll start with Peter Schaefer.
All right, for the procedures to implement the Texas Surface Water Quality Standards, or as we call them, IPs, or implementation procedures, we are planning to do a large update of the procedures parallel to the standards updates, which is set for, I believe it's 2021. And these are things such as, well, we've got some big items to address rules that have come into play, or things that EPA is requiring, and such as thermal procedures. Those are big ticket items. Those are things that are going to take time to work out, and so that's why. And if you've been to past WAQWAG updates, you will have heard the same thing. But those are going to take a while to update, and so we're getting that implemented with the 2021 standards in parallel with that. And that also includes ambient water quality updates, anything that comes out of this MUIR workshop, the methods update rule. That may end up in the IPs. It may end up as somewhere else. We're in the process of deciding that. So those are the large changes. There are some smaller changes that we are currently implementing that we're going to get into. We plan to get that into a standards or an IP update prior to that 2021 revision. And these are things like whole effluent toxicity, reasonable potential, pH screening procedures, dechlorination requirements for minor municipal discharges, updates to endangered species listings, and just general corrections of errors or omissions from the last IP revision, or the current IP revision, which is the 2010 IPs. So that is the plan going forward for the implementation procedures, and I will entertain any questions if you folks have any.
All right, thank you, Peter. Next up, got a pretreatment update from Erica.
Thank you, Greg. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Erica Crespo, and I have been the pretreatment team leader since March of 2018, going on a year. Fun year. And I just have a few items that I'd like to discuss with you as far as updates regarding pretreatment. First being, please reach out to me directly with any pretreatment related questions or concerns. We are our pretreatment coordinators, like Maria, she introduced herself earlier. They are not assigned to any specific approved programs at this time. And so I am the contact for approved programs in the state of Texas right now. We are in the process of entirely revamping how the TCEQ pretreatment program is being implemented in the Water Quality Division, and we want for this to be a successful endeavor. The goal and objectives of this process and the changes that will result from it are to improve the overall efficiency of the work being done by the pretreatment team so that we can best serve our customers on behalf of the state. So all the stakeholders, please feel free to share any input or ideas with me, and we will schedule a formal pretreatment stakeholder meeting later on in the year to discuss things in more detail. So please be on the lookout for that official invitation or announcement. The second thing that I'd like to update all of you on is that we have created a general email address for pretreatment related inquiries. And that email address is capital W, capital Q, capital P, RET at tceq.texas.gov. Please feel free to reach out to it. Any questions or concerns, also feel free to email me or call me directly, and that is available for your use. The third update is please be aware of the compliance dates associated with the EPA dental rule, and please submit any reports or any program modifications to us for review as appropriate. Specifically, all the non-substantial modifications associated with the one-time compliance reports that are used for dental offices. And there's also more information available on our website, the pretreatment website. There's a whole dental section. The fourth update that I have for you guys is that we are halfway through all of our pretreatment program audits for this fiscal year. Woo, y'all have no idea. It's been a lot of work. And so we are consistently coming across one particular issue, that is how significant non-compliance determinations are being made. So if you have any questions or concerns about this, or you want more information on what our audit process entails or the changes that we've made, because we have made changes to our processes as well as our final audit reports, please feel free to reach out to me, and I'll be more than happy to let you know what we've done. And the final update that I have for you guys is we're in the process of developing a plan to review the backlog of program modifications that we have in-house. Going forward, as we work to complete our modification reviews, we will be reaching out to individual programs for insight and information on the pending submissions. In some cases, this will result in our request for either resubmissions or revisions to the pending submissions that we have in-house. And so please feel free to reach out to me directly with any questions or concerns about this initiative, and I'll be more than happy to provide you with an answer or a status update as needed. And that's all that I have, and I'm open to questions.
All right, thank you, Erica. And actually, it was not on the agenda, but Lori wanted to chime in with some info that might be helpful for y'all.
So kind of segueing off of the pretreatment program streamlining efforts, one of the things that we're looking at is also streamlining our permit application reviews. And we have a goal of issuing our permits, 85% of our permits on time. And this year we're seeing that we're struggling to make that happen. And so we've been crunching some numbers to see where we can make improvements. And one of the things that I would like to share with y'all is that right now we have 66 permits that are filed with the Chief Clerk's office for the Notice of Application and Preliminary Decision, which is referred to as the NAPD. So it's been filed with the Chief Clerk's office, and they're in some various stages of notice. Either the notice hasn't been published, or it has been published and the documentation either hasn't been submitted, or we have some errors in the documentation. So I would encourage everyone, whenever the Chief Clerk's office mails out your NAPD for publication, that you publish that in a timely manner. And it's not just publishing, but also submitting those documents, the proof of publication, in a timely manner as well. Likewise, our draft permit reviews, when we send the draft permit out for the applicant or the consultant to review the draft permit, we have 46 that are outstanding, meaning that we have, it's been more than 30 days since we've submitted the draft permit out, and we either haven't received comments, we've had a request for an extension of time, or comments have been submitted and we are processing those comments. So for a total, with 66 being delayed in the Chief Clerk's office for NAPD and 46 because of draft permit reviews, that totals 16% of our current pending permits that are being delayed just for those two reasons. And if you do your math correctly, that's more than our 85% on time. And so when you factor in that we have a number of permits that have some technical complexities to them, these things like the publishing the notice, we really would like to eliminate that as a reason for delayed permit actions. So it's just a friendly reminder to publish your notice in a timely manner, try to get your draft permit comments to us in a timely manner, and help us help you get the permit issued on time. Any questions about our permitting process or the NAPD or the public notice verification documents that are required? Okay, very good. Thank you.
Real quickly, just wanted to let everyone know that the Federal Rural Clean Water Act Methods Update Work Group meeting will actually be scheduled for April 30th, not the 19th as listed on the agenda. So April 30th. Thanks.
Thank you for that clarification, Travis. Before we jump into some announcements, anyone have any questions about what we've talked about already, or any other topics that are on your mind? Okay. Yeah. Warm cookies would be nice, right? So, announcement-wise, you got several there at the bottom of your agenda. Travis just mentioned the clarification on the methods update work group meeting. That's April 30th, 2019, here at TCQ. We also have our spring meeting of this work group on April 16th of this year. Probably same time, same place, but stay tuned for an announcement on that. And of course, we also have coming up, before you know it, our annual environmental trade fair and conference. That's going to be May 14th through 15th down at the Austin Convention Center downtown. So make your plans for attending that. Always a great event. And let's see, am I missing anything else? I think I've covered everything I needed to. So last chance for questions or comments. Gone. So we will call it a day for this meeting at least. Thanks for coming out again. Good to see all your faces, and we'll do this again in 3 months. So have a good rest of the day. Thank you.